Welcome to the Beesies.
I'm Abby.
I'm Brittany.
I'm Jenny.
And I'm Mackenzie.
Remember the college days when you were best friends with your roommates?
You would come home and talk about anything and everything together.
We miss this phase so much that we decided we needed this quality roommate time again.
So welcome to the Beesies. Come over and get cozy with your new favorite roommates.
Hello.
Hello.
Welcome back to the Beesies. Welcome, guys. Really quick, I just watched one of our podcast on YouTube for the first time today because I was just like, oh, I've never actually done that. I wonder what it looks like. Immediate cringe every single opening. I feel like, wow, I hate the way that I'm just awkwardly standing there. So I don't think that's going away, but I just randomly thought of that.
Yeah, whenever I listen to podcasts now, I love to pay attention to the beginning especially and be like, how do they just go into it so smooth? And then I realize a lot of them will even say, oh, this is the 4th time or the 6th time that I've redone this. And I'm like, we don't really do that, so maybe we should. But
at least we're not
care more. Yeah, we should care more, but we just know you guys love us, our authentic selves.
Yeah, there is
Hopefully.
no multiple takes. We do it the first time and we just go with the flow, you know?
There was one episode at the very beginning. We had recorded 20 minutes of it and we all were just like, this is trash. And we redid it. I don't even remember what the topic was, but I remember we all were kind of just like, this sucks.
Yeah, I don't remember.
But
anyways, welcome to the podcast, guys. We're so happy you're here.
Yes, we are. Any updates for y'all's week? I have nothing.
No, not from me, but I thought you said you wanted to, you had a rant.
Yes, I do have
that you
something
wanted to share
about. Okay. So this is kind of, I'll have to give a little context. So in a lot of fantasy books, there are often very strong, main character, female main characters, and they're very independent, do it themselves, very feminist woman kind of vibes. But
yeah,
what I've noticed, so Iron Flame just came out, and this won't have any spoilers for it, just context for anyone who wants to read that book in the future or is reading. You don't have to worry. Anyways, so I just finished the book last week, and so I've been listening and watching reviews of it, and something that keeps popping up is people being frustrated with the main character, the girl, and just being like, oh, she's so confident now. Last book, because part of it in the first book is she's just literally physically weak, and so she kind of has insecurities because of that, but she ends up being one of the strongest people with the powers she gets.
Okay,
again, not really spoilers, it's very predictable, but so in this book especially, she's just really confident and in herself, she's like, yeah, I'm so strong. And a lot of discourse around the book is oh, it's so annoying how confident she is now, and how she's almost too cocky. And it's a lot of women reviewing it. And I've noticed this in a lot of fantasy books that I've read, where people will hate on the female main character and be like, it's so annoying how confident she is. And I'm like, this does not feel very girl's girl to me.
Interesting.
And it's so frustrating because I'm I was listening to a podcast about Iron Flame this morning, and it's a podcast that I see often on TikTok, and I've been interested in listening to because they review a bunch of books that I've read. And this is the first one I'm listening to, and I'm I'm about to stop listening because it's almost so frustrating how demeaning they are almost. And there's some points that they're making where I'm yeah, I could see that, but it's why is it bad that there's just a strong female character? It's so frustrating because I'm it's just showing that it's okay to be strong, but then you're literally saying it's annoying that she's strong. At one point they literally said that, and I'm hold on.
Yeah.
Why?
So are they wanting her to be saved? Is that why they that storyline more?
I don't know if it's that as much as it's I get the character development side of it. That's the only part I could see, because in the first book it was very much oh, I'm weak, I'm not strong, and then in this book it's switched, but it's So maybe it's like the only argument I could understand is like there wasn't like a ramp up to it. It was just like, I'm weak and now I'm strong. But it's like, also, why is that a bad thing? If that is how it was, like, she has a lot of reasons to feel that way.
Yeah.
And it's ACOTAR, there's similar discourse around the main female character where she's like kind of the weakest and then she is really strong. And then people are like annoyed with her and how she behaves when she's strong and realizes it. And it's like, okay, what? Like, why
That's
is it
so
bad?
interesting.
I know.
I think I'm
because-
remembering my brother-in-law said that about ACOTAR
Yes.
too, maybe. Yeah.
There's so many people that like this is a lot of discourse around like very popular fantasy books and like people hating on the female main character for being strong. And I'm like, why is it bad? Like, I don't know.
Right. I would think that, like, just out of the books I've read, and I don't even read fantasy, but like,
Yeah.
that's never something that comes in my mind.
Yes.
Like, oh, the female character is too confident. Like, who gives a crap?
Yeah. Yeah.
No, exactly. And
Interesting.
yeah. So I was just thinking about it. It's very prominent for some reason in like discourse around fantasy books. I haven't seen it
That's
as
so
much
interesting.
in like regular romance novels. And maybe it's because
Yeah.
like often in fantasy books, they literally have different powers.
Well, and that's the thing is like in romance books, they're not usually like fighting people or
Yeah.
like having to be physically strong or stuff too. It's like more of an emotional thing. And a lot of them, I will admit, I think are like kind of on the opposite side.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
yeah. But here's okay. So you bring up an interesting thought in my head because I've been watching this season of Survivor.
Yes.
And this like for anybody who is watching this season, like you'll know what I'm talking about, but if you're not, I'm very sorry. The 4 like Reba alliance that
Yes.
is like dominating everything right now pisses me off to like no end, but I find myself being so annoyed and like frustrated with Dee especially. Like I don't like her attitude. I don't like the way that she talks about how like she's on the top and like she's confident and she's always feeling comfortable and not worried that she's going to get voted out. She's controlling everything. Like she literally has this very confident, very strong mindset. And like, I'm so annoyed with her about it. And I caught myself the other day while I was watching being like, okay, is this because she's a woman and I'm not okay with women in this situation? Or is it because of like literally the way that she is acting? Because I think that Austin and Drew are acting very similarly to her, but they are guys.
Yeah.
And up until this last episode, I was annoyed with everybody. But like before that, I wasn't annoyed. I was rooting for Austin. I was rooting for Drew, but I wasn't rooting for Dee. And I like caught myself, and I feel like that is seriously something so my point is that it is something so ingrained in us. I think that we just so subconsciously don't even realize that like not that we're not okay with women being powerful, but like they have to do it in a certain way. And if they don't do it in a certain way, then like oh, it's too much and you need to like humble yourself or something.
No, that's what like you guys saying this, like it makes me realize that like, oh, when I see women confident, I do have that bias
It's
where
just
I'm
the
like,
internalized misogyny.
yeah. Well, because
Yeah.
and it's interesting you bring up Survivor. I don't really watch Survivor, but someone from Survivor was on the challenge.
Yes. Oh,
What's his name?
Tyson?
And he's so cocky and confident.
Yeah.
And to me, I found that like funny, like kind of like endearing. But then like Angela, who was his partner, was also very confident. And I'm like, ugh, like humble yourself. Like,
Right.
I think
So
there are certain behaviors because like in Survivor specifically, whenever anyone gets too cocky, it's annoying.
Right.
I think
And that's the thing.
just
At this
like,
point, I'm just annoyed with all those 4.
Yeah.
So it's like not specific to her anymore, but
Yeah.
it was at the beginning.
because like there's always like in all areas, books, Survivor, anything, there's like the cocky versus confidence that I think like whenever someone gets too cocky, that's just annoying. But it's interesting when they're just being confident and it's not cocky that it's like
yeah.
hated on. And that's like
Yeah.
speaking for myself. Like literally in Survivor, there's moments or in just different moments where I'm like, oh, that's so annoying that they're so confident in this. And it's like, well, why? Like,
Right.
you know, I don't know.
Right.
So maybe I just need to check myself. But I had really high hopes for listening to this podcast, and I really don't know if
What's
I
the
can continue.
podcast? Name drop.
I feel kind of bad name dropping and bashing on another podcast. It's called, I think it's called.
We can cut it out.
Yeah, cut out the name, Scott. You've probably seen their clips on TikTok.
That's what because you said it was from TikTok, so I was wondering if
I see their clips
had
all
seen
over
them.
TikTok. So, Scott, just beep out when I say the name.
That's
That'd
a
be
cute
kind of
name,
funny.
though. I like the name. I don't think I've ever heard of them before, but
Yeah.
yeah, interesting.
I mean, beside that, like I've seen a lot of their things that I like agree with and stuff, but I think it just was like straw that broke the camel's back. Like I'm like, why are we so frustrated when like
Right.
these main characters are like confident? Like they have every right to be, and I don't think it's like cocky. I don't know.
Yeah.
So
Well, and there's a
anyways,
little bit
there's
of a
my rant.
difference between like having that little opinion and then being like, I need to rant and complain and like hate on a woman
Yeah.
for being this way. Like you can be frustrated that somebody is like confident maybe and just being like, ugh, that's like she's kind of annoying me, whatever. But like hating on people's a little bit different. So maybe that's like
Yeah.
what
That
Yeah.
You just feel
that's
it.
just such an odd critique of
Yeah.
a story.
That's
Yeah.
the
That,
thing
That like,
too. Is
oh,
I'm
this
like,
character developed too much.
the
Yeah.
main character too,
Yeah.
by the way.
Yeah.
Like
and like
not even an insignificant one.
they're all fake. Like this is a fake world,
Right.
a fake character. They're
Right.
literally in a war college bonded to dragons and they get special powers. Like
Right.
if I could shoot lightning, I would also feel pretty powerful. Like
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just
Right.
interesting.
Very
but-
different worlds. Like we can't you bring our earthly mindset into these like fantasy books.
literally.
When I was a kid, I used to pray to God and ask him to give me powers, and I would promise him, I'd be like, I will not abuse this. I will use my powers for good. Please
Wow.
just
What
give me
powers did you want? Just like any?
I wanted to fly.
Oh, okay. Like you
Okay.
wanted to be a superhero.
I wouldn't be saving people.
Oh, you just
I would
wanted
just
the
be
powers.
flying. Yeah.
Just wanting to fly.
Well, because I
Love
always
it.
thought that God hasn't given us powers because we're gonna abuse it. But like,
Oh.
I was like, I
see.
won't abuse it. And
You
in
were
fact,
saying, let me be the chosen one.
yeah, and
You're
I was
like,
like,
"Let
I
me
won't
be the
use it
first."
for bad, and I also won't use it for good.
I'll just use
I'm
it.
just gonna, yeah.
Yeah.
That's so
Interesting. I
funny.
mean, God technically is capable of anything, so he could make you fly.
I would
you
want to
really
be able to
wanted to.
teleport.
That was my understanding of God, but then he didn't grant me the powers that I promised I wouldn't abuse. So
He's just still waiting to see if you feel the same way. He's testing you.
yeah,
He's like, if by 30 you still are saying you won't abuse it, then you'll get to fly.
Right. Too good.
That's so funny. Well, thanks for letting me rant on that.
you're welcome.
It was just something on my mind that I was like, this is frustrating, but
I get it. Sometimes we need to just get those things off our chest, you know?
and what better place than a podcast where I just talk nonsense anyways.
I can't think of one.
I love it.
Perfect.
Well, we wanted to hold on. Actually, I can't remember what we were exactly talking about. So someone else should introduce the topic.
Kenzie, you go.
Speaking of women being confident,
Yes.
Oh, that's a
Um,
perfect segue.
There we go.
I am a woman and I am not confident in many things. But one of the things I'm not very confident in, but I enjoy, is working out. So a couple weeks ago, we talked about this a little bit and we were like, oh, we should do like a deeper dive on working out and fitness and stuff. So we decided to talk about that today.
Yeah.
Does any just real quick, what is like your activity level? Are you guys pretty active? Do you work out a lot?
I feel like Abby's the most consistent of us all.
I mean, yes, but also not this month. That's for sure.
I feel like for me, it ebbs and flows so much. Like I will have times where like for a couple months, like I'm going so consistently or I'm on like a certain routine. And then I like won't go to the gym for like months, or I'll just like go on walks or something. So that's one thing though that I've tried to be like kind with myself about, is just not being down on myself if I have a month where it's like, oh, I didn't do a single active thing, or I didn't go to the gym at all. It's like, it's really okay. Like it's not like I'm training for a bodybuilding competition that I like have to, like I'm not like some elite athlete. But I feel like for me, it's just being up and active in some way. I think also the fact that my job, I'm literally standing for 8 hours a day, always makes me not feel as like guilty about not like formally working out.
Like you're getting your steps in. That's good.
Exactly. But currently my preferred activity is just going on a walk. It's just so enjoyable. Yeah.
I love walking. I think that I've seen a couple videos online just about like how like you should enjoy working out. You like whatever activity you're doing, it should be enjoyable. Obviously there are gonna be days where like we don't want to work out or whatever.
Right.
Totally.
But like doing something that you don't want to do just to be fit or whatever, it's like, I don't, that's like torture.
Right.
So I've really focused like the past, this year actually, I've really focused on doing things that I enjoy. Like I found out that I enjoy running. So that's all I've been doing this year is running. I haven't really gone into the gym. I need to, because it's supposed to, like, weight training is supposed to be good for running. So I'm trying to go back to the gym, but I hate it.
Yeah.
I hate going to the gym.
No, I think what like you just said is spot on. Like finding something that you find super fun and like isn't a chore or a task to add to all of your many to-do things is like super important. And also recognizing that like that can change and that's very fluid over the years. So like what you may enjoy right now or what you may have enjoyed, like maybe you really enjoyed yoga during COVID and that was like something you loved to do regularly, and now that it's not really like you did it because you were like, oh, I want to get back into it, but you did it and you're like, wait, I actually kind of hated that. Like it's okay to change things up and find something else that you do enjoy, because in my experience, like if you're trying to force something that mentally like you're not interested in, then it's going to do like worse for your mental health. But then like if you find something that you love to do and makes you happy, then it will be better for your mental health. So like even me who says like, you know, in this last year I've started weightlifting and doing that and I loved it and I still love it, and it was doing really like I felt so much better like physically and mentally. But like I know that for other people that's not the case, and so just because what one works for one person doesn't work for the other person, and then it's important to find something that like you really enjoy.
We had like sorry, real quick, we had kind of started to get into it, but I think the comparison side is so important too, because like what we were saying before we started recording is like you see so many of the like ideal examples online, like ideal weightlifting, ideal running, this is how you should do Pilates, like whatever it is. And it's like, that's so hard to compare yourself to as well, where it's like finding what you love and also being okay with that being fluid puts you in a better mindset, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You're not trying to do it to like match up to some fitness influencer or whatever.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think like I personally follow like very mediocre runners because that's what I am. I am mediocre at best. And so like, I don't know, like I hate seeing TikToks where it's like, oh my gosh, I run so slow. I ran a 9-minute mile. I'm like, fuck you. Like, just.
You're like,
there are people out there wishing they could be you. Like, be happy with what you have.
Yeah. That's insane.
Yeah.
But also, like, I want to go back to, like, how, like, working out should be good for you mentally. When I started getting into running, like, you know, it started out as me being like, oh, like, can I run a mile? Like, kind of, like, challenging myself. But then it turned into a way to, like, deal with, like, panic attacks. And so, like, I don't know, it was, like, perfect for me physically and mentally.
Yeah.
Whereas, but like, I started working out consistently in college, and my, like, motivation to work out was just to, like, be skinny. Like, and it was torture. Like, it wasn't fun to work out just to be skinny.
Right. No, that's so boring. And, like, because especially too, like, if you do have a goal, let's say, like, those goals take a lot of time to achieve, whether that goal is, like, losing weight, gaining weight, changing your body composition, like, whatever it may be. That takes forever, like, to do it, of a lot of consistency. And so, like, it could be fun maybe in the first, like, week, and you're like, I'm working out to be skinny, whatever, but then you don't see it happening, and then it, like, puts you down this really big spiral of, like, why is this not happening? And then that just causes more and more problems, so that's why, like, in my mind, while, like, having some physical goals is, like, good, and like, in some ways, like, I think all of us are working out in some way, and, like, knowing in the back of my mind that, like, this may improve maybe the way that I look, or at least I see myself, like, whatever, but, like, that's never the reason we should. I feel like that's never, like, the forefront, the main purpose.
That's not what motivates me to go out in the morning and work out.
I think oftentimes we, like, set our goals so unrealistic too. Like, on my bingo board for the year, one of the things that I had put was squat 200 pounds, and I'm like, no chance. Like, at the beginning of the year, I was, like, lifting consistently, so I was like, oh, I could definitely accomplish that, and then I, like, have not lifted since. So that's part of it. Like, but, like, for me, I'm like, I could probably squat 100 pounds at the beginning of the year. Like, why did I think it was attainable in 1 year to, like,
that's a big jump.
That's a huge jump. And that's something, well, maybe not 100 pounds. I don't actually know how much I could squat. It may have been 120, but still, huge jump.
Still impressive.
And, like, that's something people work years for. And so part of it is, like, one, maybe this is bad advice, but I don't care, is if you do have a goal, just tone it back. Whatever your initial goal is, take it back a step. Because I always think with, like, weight loss, it's just an easy, like, go-to for people's, like, goals, is oftentimes people will say, like just throwing out numbers, like, oh, I want to weigh 130 pounds. But what they have in their mind of, like, what would actually be healthy for them maybe, or, like, how they actually want to look is closer to, like, 140, let's say. And so it's like, we have such skewed perceptions of things related to, like, health and wellness anyways, that I think it's like, it's fine to take it back a step. Like, instead of saying, like, oh, I want to run a 9-minute mile, it's like, okay, maybe I want to run a 12-minute mile. Like, I've never run a mile, so let's start there instead of saying that I want to go 12 or to a 9-minute mile, because that's also so frustrating when you're not obtaining it, and then that, like, discourages you as well.
Yeah. How do you guys go about, like, goal setting with workouts? Do you even set goals with, like, fitness, or?
Not really anymore.
Yeah.
Well,
so, like, I feel like when it comes to just things like this in general and having a goal anyway, I have never been somebody in my life who, like, perfectly executes their goals all the time and needs to, like, live up to this ideal of perfection. I know there's a lot of people out there who are like that, but that's just not me. So if I have a fairly, like easy time being able to set a goal and like work towards it and be happy with any progress that I have. So like if I like right now, like what's a good example that I could give? I mean, even just with working out at all, being like, oh, I want to be able to like squat a certain amount, whatever. And it's like, that's a milestone in my mind of like, if I'm able to hit this, then that will be an exciting milestone for me to hit. But if I hit below that in a certain time, like I don't care. In my mind, like forward progress is progress at all, even just in like the tiniest increments. So I love to set goals and like see those in the future and be like, ooh, could I ever get to this point? Kind of like as just a motivation of like, you know, reaching for the stars, like, ooh, let's see if I can get here. Let's see what's possible for me. But like, I'm not going to make myself miserable over it, you know? So another example too, I guess quickly, just at the beginning of the year, I was, you know, a lot more strict with like my eating in the sense, like right now with the holidays, with crazy wedding season and everything, I've totally like taken a step back and I just like don't follow any sort of nutrition plan or whatever. But like at the beginning of the year I was, because I was pairing it with my fitness and I was like, I'm going to see literally like what's possible. I, you know, have taken several years off of even doing anything and I want everything in my life to like complement each other and be a really good balance. So I'm gonna like eat really healthy and work out. And it was more in the sense of like, let's just see what my body like can do. And if I didn't like achieve a certain time, it was fine. Or a certain like a thing or look or weight or whatever, it was fine. I was just like, oh, what's possible for me?
Yeah.
And I know that's not the case for like so many people out there. So I do have to like think about the way that like I handle all those things and like if someone asks me or conversations about that, but I like to give myself unrealistic goals because I don't put my like value and my worth into those, you know?
That's so healthy, honestly.
Like, that's the only thing I'm like mentally healthy on. Let's just be clear about that.
Like that's the only thing I don't need to dive into in therapy, but everything else, yes. No, I feel like that's like the goal though, is like having that mentality. Cause like for me, I have the opposite problem where like shoot for the stars, but then if I know I'm not going to get there, I'm just like, well, I just should give up completely then instead.
That's how I am. Yeah.
So that's like, that's so inspiring. That's how I want to be. I want to be you, Abby.
No, I mean, it's not that like, I know that what's healthy for one person is not healthy for another. So it's not like I think that I have it all together or like, oh, I've cracked the code. But that is one thing where it's like, you know, like another thing. I said that I was going to read 50 books this year. That's a really big goal. And I didn't. And I adjusted halfway through. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to like change that to 25. And like, I don't care. I'm no less of a reader because of it. Like, you know, I still enjoy reading as a hobby. And so I would consider myself like a bookie person. But I'm no less of like a book nerd because of that. I'm no less of a like weightlifter because I don't have like bulging biceps yet, you know?
Well, it's kind of like what Kenzie was mentioning after they did their run of the guy who was like, wow, you did a marathon, like you did, or not a marathon, you did that in 5 hours or whatever. Like you still were doing that for 5 hours. It's like, you still read more than 25 books this year. Like that's a lot of books. That's a lot of reading. That's so like, that's a huge accomplishment still.
Right.
For our bingo boards, because Scott and I basically, I don't know, I think I've talked about this on the podcast, but quick explanation. It was a trend to make your resolutions into a bingo card and then you get bingos throughout the year. It's fun. It's cute. You should all do this.
I love it.
I want to do it again this year. But there were a couple things on both of ours that we like edited a little bit. Like, for example, one of Scott's was finish flight school. Obviously, he is not doing flight school anymore. And so we just like rewrote it and said like, be done with flight school. And then like one of mine, I had like taking ASL course or something, and I changed it to doing a creative writing course because that's something I did. It's like the intention is still there. Like it's taking a class. It's just the topic's different. And so I think that's like a way that we can still like keep like the theme there, but like be kind to yourself too, and know that like your goals are also going to evolve as you do. And like, especially setting a goal for a whole year, it's like, that's a lot. And like, you're going to be a very different person come October, November. And like your priorities may change, your time may change. You may not have time to read 50 books.
Right.
But it's okay. So
like if you look at your goals and just feel stressed, like it's time to readjust those goals, you know?
Be kind to yourself.
Exactly. But so I want to ask you guys the question, what is your routine for whenever you do work out, whenever you get ready to move your body or whatever? What is your routine that helps you guys get in the right mindset? Maybe even especially if it's like, I don't want to do this, I want to lay on the couch, but I know I need to get up and just do something good for my body. So what gets you motivated and in the right mindset?
That's a good
On
question.
TikTok, there's this for running. There's a 10-minute rule where it's like just go out for 10 minutes, and if you're done after that 10 minutes, fine, go back inside. But there's a good chance that you'll want to go longer.
Yeah.
After those 10 minutes.
Yeah.
The time, like, what's helped me is the time of day that I do my workout. I actually have found that I enjoy running at night after work instead of in the morning, because first thing in the morning I'm dragging, I'm stalling. So that's something that has helped me.
Yeah. I think that's so important too, just figuring out like what is making, because also I think with working out especially, or being active, it's like you don't want it to like take away from your day too. And if like you're doing it in the morning, it may feel more like a chore, whereas if you're doing it at a time you prefer, it's like, oh, this is adding to my day.
Yeah.
Right.
Something that helps me, especially because I love just going on a walk either outside or on the treadmill, but habit stacking is like a common thing. And so there'll
What
be
is that?
basically like, easiest way that I understand it is like pairing something you don't necessarily want to do with something you do. So like for me, if I'm not feeling super motivated to go to the gym or go on a walk or something, I'll go to the gym and read while walking, because reading is something I want to be doing. And so it's like, okay, I'm either going to be reading sitting on my couch, or I can just go and walk and read a chapter. And then usually I end up reading longer, which means I end up walking longer. And so it's like I'm doing something I really enjoy, and something that it's like, not that I don't enjoy it, but it's like I wasn't motivated to do it today. But then like once I'm getting going, I'm like, oh, I am enjoying this. So,
or like a habit you want to develop. I've heard the same thing be used for like, if I want to develop this new habit, stack it with like a habit that you already do or something like that, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's honestly a very helpful tool. What about you, Abby?
Habit stacking, is that what it's called?
Yeah.
I think it's in the book Atomic Habits. Is that right?
I think you're right. I haven't read it, but I'm pretty sure that's what it's from.
Andrew read that a few years ago, and he said, I think that was like the first time that I started hearing about this. So
yeah, I mean,
assuming.
Interesting.
I get it from my only source, TikTok. So
another thing is doing your workout with a friend.
Yeah.
If that.
Yes.
I personally, I don't like working out with friends.
Yeah.
But if that's something you're interested in, maybe that would help. I don't know.
Or like you could even figure out a way to make it so maybe you don't like work out with a friend in the moment, but you have like an accountability partner that you both check in and you ask at the end of the day, like, how was your workout today? Or like send a selfie of you at the gym today or whatever, you know? So you have somebody to like still share the experience with.
Yeah.
But you don't have to like actually be doing it with them, you know?
yeah. No, that's
I do
good.
love
know
a
which-
gym buddy though.
You know which app I find to be kind of toxic?
Is that Strava?
Oh my gosh. It's like low-key kind of toxic.
Wait, I don't know if I've ever heard of it.
It's like a social media app for all of your workouts.
Oh, no, thank you.
I've heard some people like it. Like, if Andrew has like friends on there and he'll see like, oh, they went on a run in this location today, and that's cool. Like, if you use it in a way where you just kind of want to see like maybe what people are up to. But I can also see how it's like very competitive and like too
low key
much.
kind of toxic. Yeah, that's hard. I could see it feeding into that.
Also, if you're needing some motivation to get up and move your body, buy a cute workout set.
Yeah.
I think we talked about this like over the summer, but where's your favorite place to buy cute workout clothes?
Oh yeah, I vaguely remember this.
We talked about Lululemon over the summer.
Yeah.
I only have one thing from Lululemon.
Yeah, me too.
And it's my go-to. It's a running skirt, and I wear it all the time.
Yeah.
That's so cute. I honestly never buy new workout stuff. Like, it's so rare that I do.
Yeah.
I really want to try Aloe, though. Like, their clothes, I have a couple coworkers who have a lot of Aloe stuff and, like, absolutely love it. But
Yeah. My go-to brand this entire year, I have bought way too much from them, and I think I will only continue, is Honor Active. Has been my favorite. And like, I just feel so cute in all of the clothes. And that is like the biggest thing for me to be motivated. Like, before, I had like random leggings that like I got for Christmas one year, and like no sports bras, no like shirts. I would always just wear like a t-shirt and like leggings that didn't flatter me. And so when I like invested, and even like not really invested, because their clothes are not like the most expensive on the market, like in this category. But anyways, when I invested in like good workout clothes that made me feel cute, that was very comfortable to wear in, and like cute colors, like all that stuff, it became so much more fun to me.
yeah.
To like go to the gym and all that stuff. So yeah, that's like if it's something that you're going to be spending a lot of time in, like, you really should wear something that makes you feel good, you know, and confident and all that stuff.
Yeah. I was going to bring this up a couple episodes ago. I can't remember what the context was, but what are you guys' thoughts on flare leggings, or like yoga pants, basically?
No.
Really?
No.
Okay, I am into it because they have the flare leggings with the slit in the side
I don't think
at the bottom.
okay.
No.
And
wait,
I'm into that. I'm into that.
I've been such a hater of them, and I got a pair, and they're so comfortable, and they're so much cuter. And I hate it so much. Every part of me hates it. But I'm like, wait, I just was thinking about it, and I was like, I hate skinny jeans now. Like, I will rarely wear like actual like skinny jeans. And then I was thinking about it one day at work, because I was wearing leggings, and then I saw like a couple other people who were wearing just like straight leg yoga pants, or like flare quote unquote yoga pants. And I was like, those are like the jeans I wear, and I feel so much more confident in jeans like that. And so I was like, I'm just gonna get a pair, see how I like it, get some cheap ones. And I was like, wait, this is the same freaking thing as jeans.
Yeah.
No wonder I like it more. It's the same concept where it like...
Where'd you get them from?
Just Amazon. But I did some research on it, actually, because I was like, I want to be... Like, I don't love the ones that are like tight and then just go like way far out.
Yeah.
Like, I wanted
bell bottoms almost.
I don't want bell bottoms. I wanted more of like a straight leg, basically. But with my body shape, they end up being like more like tight than flare anyways, just not bell bottom flare. But I found ones that are supposed to be very similar to Lulu dupes on Amazon.
Oh, okay.
And they're so comfortable. So
Interesting.
anyways, I'm still a hater of them, because everything in my being has to hate them because they're yoga pants and just rebranded as flare leggings.
Yeah.
But I am starting to understand that they are more visually appealing, I think, than just leggings.
Okay, this is kind of going off topic. I don't know why I am this way. I like with COVID when like we were hardcore like lockdown staying inside.
Yeah.
I got ready every single day. And like
Really?
I refused to like lounge around in like leggings. I got ready
You
every
were like,
single
this
day.
is not going to make me like a lazy person who sits on the couch all day.
Well, yeah, it just made me feel like more productive.
I get that.
For sure, I get that.
But I like in college I used to like wear leggings to class and stuff, and like it was part of my outfit that I wore for the day. But now I don't know like what to call it. This is like
Like a mental
elitist
block?
of me.
Oh, okay.
No,
Different.
but I'm like athleisure is that's not those aren't clothes. Those aren't like you
Yeah.
can't wear that as an outfit. That's not appropriate. Like, and I don't know. So, but my goal for 2024 is to get into athleisure more, because whenever
Yeah.
I am wearing like leggings, I feel lazy. I feel like I'm not ready for the day. I feel like I'm in pajamas. Which,
that
by
makes
the way,
sense.
Gen Z or Gen Alpha with your dumbass pajama pants that you wear, you and your Crocs, you look crazy. By the way,
Yeah.
like
Kenzie
that.
hates Gen Alpha.
That's like, to me, wearing leggings, that's like synonymous with like the crazy pajama pants and the Crocs. Like
Yeah.
it just looks lazy and you just look like you rolled out of bed.
Okay,
Yeah.
But
maybe
I'm trying
maybe
to
that's
like
Sorry, go ahead.
no. But my goal is to just get into athleisure,
Athleisure?
more, and to like
Yeah.
be comfortable with wearing athleisure as my outfit.
I do
Yeah.
agree with you though. Like, I'm trying to not make athleisure be the outfits I wear every single day. Like, they're for a purpose, and the purpose is great, and they can absolutely be worn for that purpose. But then, like, when we're
Yeah.
done, we need to like change in normal. I'm trying to get more into that habit a little
Yeah.
bit.
I agree. I think that's why, honestly, the leggings the flare leggings that I got, it feels less like, I don't want to say wearing leggings is tacky. That's not the right word, probably. But I agree that, like, when I am wearing leggings, I'm like, this is a comfy day. Like, I'm not dressing for style or being cute at all.
Yeah, it doesn't feel cute.
But then,
or like,
yes, it doesn't
styled.
feel trendy or stylish. But when I since I've gotten them, like I've gone out doing like errands or something, and I'll be wearing the new leggings I got instead with like a sweater, and I'm like, I feel way cuter, and I feel
Yeah.
more put together too.
Yeah. So I think that's what my goal is just to like make athleisure cuter.
Yeah.
And to make it feel like, oh, I'm stylish. I'm dressing it up a little bit. That's
Totally.
a good way to put it. That's what my goal is. And to not be like elitist about it. Because I literally like
It's a very European thing.
Yes. Yep. Yes.
Kenzie,
Like,
you're just
that's
living
exactly
your
how I
European
feel.
Dream.
I think so.
Yeah.
That's
I mean,
amazing.
Brittany, as much as the yoga pants make me want to cringe just because it like reminds me of such a terrible like fashion
I agree.
part of my life, I am happy that you feel great in them, and that is all that matters. And that's the
Yeah.
point, is that you just have to find something that you like and that you feel confident in, and then like who cares what everybody else thinks, you know?
Yeah. It is one of those things too with all trends when they come back. It's the same thing but just done a little bit, usually a little bit better. And I
Yeah.
think part of it too is like the yoga pants were often more like sweat material opposed to like legging material.
Yeah.
At least from what I remember.
Yeah.
And now
Well,
it
how do
feels
you-
not so much like that.
The thing too I remember about these that I didn't like a lot is that they were like low-waisted.
Yeah, no.
And I really
No,
don't
thank
like
you.
low-waisted leggings. I'm like way more high up,
Yes.
like it up to my belly button.
Yeah, I want it to
high-waisted
cover my
leggings.
boobs.
Okay. Because I
love
feel
that.
like
Okay.
trends are going now more also into the low-waisted
Yes.
area, and like
Oh, I'm
Not-
so
I'm
scared.
Again, goes back to like what I was saying last episode. We need to stop with this Y2K.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah,
because
totally.
everyone's trying to be super, super skinny right now. And like, it's
Yeah.
too much.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So
and
the
like it looks
low
great on
rise,
some
like,
people.
yeah.
and if you like it, great. Like there's no reason that it wouldn't look great on you. Unless if you're confident in wearing that, like that's fine, you know?
Yeah.
But I don't want to be judged because I need my high waisted.
I know.
That's my
I feel the
thing.
same way. High waisted is just, I just need it.
Yeah.
It's just the way to go.
And like I think this is across the board, like relevant with workout clothes in general. Like if people want to wear skirts working out, wear skirts working, you know, like wear sport skirts working out. Who cares? Like if
Jean
you want
skirt.
to wear leggings
Yeah.
and like a what's it called? Like a sports bra.
Yeah.
Like that's fine. Some people, you know, will say like, "Oh, they're not wearing clothes. Like they need to cover up. Like how hard is it to wear a shirt?" Some people, you know, there's just like so many
Yeah.
different opinions of like how other people feel
Wear
or
what you want.
how other people should feel in their clothes. And like if you want to wear pants that separate your butt cheeks, then wear pants that separate your butt cheeks. Like
If you
no
want the
one should care.
butt scrunch, get the butt scrunch.
Exactly. Like
Yeah. No, I
so
agree.
anyways, find something that you love and
Yeah.
rock it like you should.
Yeah, I saw this. Sorry, real quick
Oh, no,
on
go ahead.
just workout outfits. I saw this girl who is probably just barely older than us post on TikTok like her workout outfit, and she's like, "I do not feel cute at the gym. What am I doing wrong, Gen
Oh my
Z?"
gosh, I saw that.
Yes, and
They're
they-
like, help me.
Yeah.
She's like,
Yes.
yes.
And they were like, well, first of all, your leggings are way too loose, because they were like regular traditional leggings, but they were like not ill, or they were not fitting
They weren't like
properly.
compression, I think
Yes.
people were saying, or
And
whatever.
they were
yeah.
like, get 7/8 leggings and then wear like crew cut socks and ditch the tank top. Like,
yes.
I was like, see, this is what I need, is people telling me, because then I'm like, because I'll look at my outfits too and I'm like, I don't love this, but I don't know why I don't love this. And then I
Right.
realize it's like, oh, because I'm so used to seeing like trendy outfits, and I do like the trendy outfits more, but I don't know how to do them. So
Yeah, like teach me how to do them,
yeah.
please.
Anyways,
Totally.
that's my tangent. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna segue into like another slightly different, not different topic, but like area of this. I feel like a lot of people always don't know. Like at least this was a problem for me. Like beginning of this year, even I was just like, I really want to get into the gym. I really want to weightlift more. Like I want to build my strength. I don't know where to start. I don't know how to do it. Like I can go this many days a week, but like once I get there, what do I even do? Stuff like that. And the thing that like helped me so much. First of all, I started with like, I just found a random fitness influencer that I liked. I felt like I like meshed with her style. I liked her personality and stuff like that. And she would post her workouts, like videos of her workouts, and like this is what I would do, and I would just like save them throughout the week if I liked them, and then go into the gym and start with that. And that helped me like at least get comfortable in it. But the biggest thing is like I signed up for like this app that has a whole ton of different like trainers and programs, and then they'll be like, this is my like, you know, my yoga program that's like 12 weeks long. This is my weightlifting program that's 12 weeks long, whatever. And having like a schedule and having like, oh, I go 3 days a week and these are the 3 days, and you just don't have to think about it. Like it takes all of the mental work away. And so all you have to do is just like show up and like do what it says, you know, and like enjoy what it, you know, enjoy what you're doing, and that's fine. And I think that can work across the board with anything. Like if you want to do yoga, if you want to do like running, but you don't know how to train for something, there's like train for a 5K programs like all over the place, and you can do it for probably any other sort of workout. So yeah, I think that's like a big thing that's really worth it in the end.
Yeah, those
That's
are so
what-
helpful.
I have a Garmin watch, and they have like running coaches, and so like he makes all of my workouts for me.
Yeah.
And I just follow that plan.
Yeah, it's like so helpful because like I have already so many other things that require my mental concentration, right? I don't need like trying to put together my own programs and plan out what I do like when I go to the gym to be another thing, you know? So if you're stuck, that's where I recommend you start.
Yeah. No, I know when I was like lifting a lot too, it was so helpful, especially when I went to like a commercial gym, to plan my workouts ahead of time, because it doesn't even have to take that long. Like, go on TikTok, find like an influencer you like or something, or just like a workout style you like, and pick like 3 or 4 of them. 5 minutes in your car before you go into the gym. But then I think it helps build that confidence too, because it's like, you know what you're doing, and you like feel like you're acting confident basically. So it's almost like tricking yourself into like, oh yeah, I know what I'm doing. But it's like, it's okay that you don't yet, but like you will.
Right.
So,
and if you're like, oh, I'm not totally familiar with this movement, like instead of trying to figure it out yourself and then feeling really like nervous about it, there's probably a video to go along with it that you can watch, with the workout that you chose from Instagram or whatever. Like, there's a ton of people out there that show you how to do things. So it's just like, it's so helpful. You feel like you're not in it alone, and like you have somebody that's like guiding you through, because none of us are experts. None of us like know fully what we're doing. We just make it work.
We are just doing. Yeah. I love that.
Have you guys gotten injured from weightlifting?
Oh my gosh. One time I've like probably like tweaked my back once, but there was one time in Tucson, I don't know if you guys remember, but you know the like rope machines that have like the different handle attachments?
Yes.
One of those that's like a V and has little like discs on the end that's totally steel. I dropped on my foot at the rec center, and I legitimately almost passed out on the spot. It hit my toe directly. And
oh my gosh,
I like went home, and I remember I like took a shower, and I was like, this is so stupid, I'm gonna pass out. Like, I was so lightheaded for probably like 2 hours.
Oh no.
And it ended up being fine. Like, I didn't even break my toe, which is kind of crazy. Your toe? Maybe I did, but I just didn't, like, it didn't feel sore, but my nail,
you just moved on.
My nail ended up falling off though, like 6 months later, because it was like bruised. And then it was so gross. Ooh. I remember I was like Snapchatting someone, and like I was taking a video, and I was like just like looking at my toe, and then it like I like touched it, like just poked my nail a little bit while taking a video, and it like peeled off on spot. I was like, I just lost my toenail. So
oh no,
I will never forget that. And that's why I'm sometimes actually terrified of the rope machines. But
yeah,
that's the only like injury I've ever had, except for like being like maybe tweaking my back a little bit, but not anything significant.
I have a really, really weak core. And like, so I, even with running, like my back is just so sensitive.
Yeah. I did that. So like, it was probably like in May or June or something like that. And like, while my core strength has increased a ton since I started, like, it's still not fully where it like needs to be in order for me to like lift as much as I want to. So squats like are always a little iffy. Like, I can't go too heavy when I squat, otherwise my core won't be able to support me, and then I will throw out my back. And so I did do that because I was trying really hard. Just like every once in a while, I'll be like, okay, today I'm going to push myself on weight, and I'm going to like train till failure on this, because it like helps to grow your muscles that way. And I just did it too early. So I had to like go get a massage and like everything. And I was considering going to the chiropractor, but he didn't have availability for me. So that was annoying. But anyways, yeah, like it is really... it's very easy to do that if you're like don't have the proper form. So since then I have like been like, okay, we're focusing on form and mostly form only until that core strength like really is at a point where I feel confident in. And that's the biggest thing. I just feel like everybody needs to build their core strength.
Yeah.
Yes. No, it's huge. I feel like for most like activities,
Yeah.
core strength
Yeah.
is
It's
huge.
very important.
Right now, I was running on an indoor track, and I switched to outside running on sidewalk, and my body's having a hard time adjusting, and I have shin splints right now.
Oh,
That's a pretty big
interesting.
adjustment, especially if you're
And
running on a
so-
sidewalk.
Yeah, and well, because I'm afraid that if I run on the road, I'm gonna get hit.
Yeah.
But and because I like running out in the streets, like I don't like just running around in a neighborhood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't know how to get over them. And I
Yeah.
hate that period where it's like, okay, you just have to rest. And I'm like, well, I have a race in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Like,
Like, I actually can't rest.
It's not that easy.
Are you
to
doing
just
another
rest.
10K?
yeah,
That's so
on
exciting.
December 17th.
Oh,
Ooh,
yes,
awesome.
I remember. Oh, I wish I was in town to do it. I want to do one with you at some point.
Yes, let's do it.
I need to actually start running, or at least
Or
walking.
you can walk it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
That is very interesting, though, Kenzie. I do want to say one more thing, like, just speaking on that. Like, I talked to my dad about this before, too, because he also has, like, been going to the gym for years and stuff. And he said, like, oh, I changed my program the other week because I just felt like everything was getting too routine and too mundane. And, like, I'm hurting and I haven't hurt in, like, a year, blah, blah, blah. And it is interesting how you can make slight changes and, like, or big changes or whatever. And it's like, if you feel like you're at a point where, oh, nothing's hurting, like this is too easy or whatever, and then you just make a little change and it like changes everything. You're like,
I
holy
know.
crap, my body is sore. I'm feeling it in different muscles that I wasn't used to. Like, it's very easy, I feel like, for that to happen. And sometimes that like discourages people, I think, but I think other times it also motivates them and being like, okay, this is something I need to work on, and like I'm gonna get to the point where this is easy now and I'm gonna do another thing. And
yeah.
you know, understanding like anatomy and physiology. Like, I took an anatomy and physiology class in high school, and for some reason that has just really stuck with me in the last 10 years. But understanding a little bit of that is very fascinating to me. And like, not saying that I think everybody who works out or moves their body or whatever needs to become like an anatomy expert, but learning about the way that your body works just makes things make more sense. And then like, it's kind of really cool to see that executed in like so many different ways.
Yeah.
So,
Like the next run I go on, I really am going to focus on my form to make sure that it's not my form that's causing the shin splints. But that is like frustrating to me. Like, I hate that, like I could just be doing it wrong and not even realize. And so I have to put more like concentration on my form. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at.
yeah.
That makes sense. Dang, this was fun.
Cool.
Yeah.
I enjoyed
Love
this. I enjoyed this combo. Well,
Yeah. I'm excited to do habit stacking now.
yes.
That was my big takeaway.
yeah.
That's what's always fun, is when I feel like we have a conversation, I'm like, oh, I did take something away from this. Like, I
Right.
learned this or
Yeah.
something. So anyways, you all can come back every Monday. We most likely will not have an episode on Christmas. So just warning you now, there's a chance there won't be one. I know we're breaking your hearts, but
Just like we all got more important things to do on Christmas, you know?
other priorities. And
Hello,
little Lou. Oh my goodness.
To him breathe. Poor thing. He just has so many breathing problems.
Oh, sweet little baby. Well, I'm so happy Lou is here to say goodbye to all of the podcast listeners.
Say goodbye.
See you all next week.
Thanks for listening,
Bye.
guys.